Greetings. This is part 4, the last part of constructing return series. Going back to our part 1, the data that we have, the data file that we have the 4 stocks that we look at, the market as well as the interest rates. Okay, so the next thing, the last part of this exercise is that we need to construct a few summary statistics so that we can actually evaluate the performance of individual stocks and as well as the market. Okay, so the first thing that we want to look at is the mean, okay, the average. All right, how do you construct the mean? You use the formula that Excel provided, which is average. Okay, and you select all the data, okay, using the return series, okay, not the original series nor the rebase series. We use the month-to-month returns, okay, and construct that. So you repeat the same for all of the data, okay, meaning the other 3 stocks, the market portfolio, which is STI in this case, as well as the interest rates. Okay, so the next thing we need to work out is the standard deviation, which measure the variability, okay, or the riskiness, or how volatile the stocks is. Okay, again we use the formula that given provided by Excel, which is STD DEV. Okay, again you do repeat the same as when you actually calculate the mean. You highlight all the data and then you press the returns button, and this is what you get. Okay, to format all the data the same, okay, so that we can actually look at the data, compare it. Okay, so the mean in this case, if you look at M1, is 0.0054. Okay, what that means is that if you actually change it to a percentage, it makes it easier to actually understand these data. The average for since 04, end of 04 until 2010, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 5 years of data. The average for M1 on a monthly basis is 0.54. Average monthly returns for Suntec is 1.45. Average monthly returns for SingPost is 0.57, 1.38 for Wheelock, and for the market is 0.8. Okay, and interest rates, okay, on average is 1.56%. Okay. The interest rate data, however, is based on a per annum basis, so you need to actually be aware of that. This data here is all constructed on a per month basis, and this one, okay, is on a per annum basis. All right, so you need to actually bear that in mind. Okay, so let me just bring this format and back to what the original format is, okay, so that we can actually compare it directly. So the next thing we're going to calculate is beta, okay, and the standard deviation of beta. Okay, and the last thing that we need to calculate, sorry, not the standard deviation, the standard error of beta, and the last thing we need to calculate is the R square. Okay, now how do you actually do this? Now for this you need to use for another formula provided by Excel, which is called LINEST. All right, I suggest that you actually have a look at the description provided by Excel. Okay, essentially this does the same thing as the adding the trend line, okay, that we did in the scatter plots. Okay, this actually provide linear regression data for us. It provides at the end of it the data that we require, which is beta, the standard error of beta, as well as the R square. Okay, so first thing is that you need to have the known y's. Okay, now bear in mind what is y. Y is the variable data. So in this case our variable data is M1. Okay, what is the known x? Known x in this case is the market. All right, so which in this case is STI. So you need to highlight STI and you need to press F4, okay, because that part of the data doesn't change. Okay, and next thing you need to know is the actual constant. You just leave that blank, and 1, okay, is the next part that you need to type in. I won't explain that. I'll leave that for you to explore it yourself. So what we need to do is highlight these 3 cells, okay, press Ctrl Shift at the same time and press enter. What that does is that it actually construct beta for you, okay, and the standard error of that beta, as well as the R square. Okay, if you look at this data, it should look somewhat familiar to you. Alright, so if we go to M1 plot, it should show 0.3966. The R square is 0.1799, 0.17. Okay, notice that they are exactly the same. Alright, so you need to repeat this process for all of the stocks. Okay, to make it easier, what you do is that you copy, okay, and you paste. Okay, but you drag the cross Suntec and you get the same data. So you drag this across. Once you drag it across, you repeat what we did for M1. Okay, select these 3 cells, click into it. Okay, on the actual this bar here, you press Control Shift at the same time and press Enter. Okay, you need to repeat the same for every data point here, and you should notice something interesting coming up. Okay, some of the information should be quite interesting. You'll notice that the market data, the actual beta for this is 1, standard error of 0, and the R square is 1. Okay, and if you look at all of these, this actually should look exactly the same as the what do you call it, the trend line that we did for the scatter plot. This concludes the last part of our constructing the return series. Okay, I also provided the summary statistics here, and for you to actually draw a conclusion from and draw some inference. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will continue again with some other parts.